Doing this work here on the farm at St. Michael's makes me feel a connection with my father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather, all of whom were named William Flemer and who had the nursery business together. My great-grandfather started it. We all worked on it 4 generations after that, growing up and as adults. The connection is about working the land, growing things, planting things, and taking care of them, solving whatever production problems come along. This is a field of Panicum virgatum, which is also known as switchgrass. It's one of the 13 species that we're growing here for the New York City Parks Department. The unique thing about these plants is that the seed for them was collected in the 5 boroughs of New York from several distinct populations of each species. And the goal is to have plants to use in the New York area that are very specifically adapted to that environment.
What we're doing here basically is acting as a farmer for the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation and producing bulk, extremely large quantities of seeds of these wild plants so that they can then be sown at the landfill and create meadows, prairie-like habitats, beautiful parks for the experience of butterflies, birds, and a whole ecosystem returning to garbage dump.
One of the 13 species of wildflower that we're growing here. The common name of that one is Joe Pieweed. It's a perennial wildflower that gets very tall, usually about 6 feet or more. The ones I'm growing haven't gotten that big yet. We did get some harvest off of them this year, and I will be processing them indoors during the winter.
I got a call from the Diocese of Trenton, and they said DNR Greenway is the last chance. We have had this property for many years. We don't have a use for it. We're going to sell it, and we know that the Hopewell community would like to see it preserved. It meets the agricultural requirement of the state. When they gave us the money to preserve the land, we needed to keep a certain portion of the property in agriculture, but it's an innovative, new type of farming. It's a partnership with New York City Parks with their Greenbelt Center, and it's an opportunity to grow native seed. So DNR Greenway has a commitment to native plants in the landscape because these are the plants that were here for hundreds of years and that in many cases are being taken over and wiped out by the exotic species that have come in really just over the last 50 years as suburban areas grew and as nurseries brought in plants such as, Japanese plants and various different exotic species.